not prepared for this. I was clearly not prepared for this entire series to play out this way. I thought this would be over. I thought we'd be talking about Celtics, Cavs. That could be more wrong on both fronts.
Yep.
But yeah, yesterday I did not think they were going to lose the game, and then I certainly did not think they were going to lose their best player for who knows how much time. Yeah, I mean, this is like you take the worst case scenario that we could have come up with yesterday, and then we weren't even prepared for this, right? Because who's talking about, hey, you're going to lose the game, you're going to be down 3-1, you're going to be facing elimination, but also your best player is going to be grabbing at his leg, rolling around on the ground. Like, no, could not be worse. I am now ready to say, mercifully, the Celtics season is done.
So I'm not quite ready to go
so
there.
I'm not saying it's done in Game 5.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's done this series.
The series is done.
Yeah.
Okay. We can talk that out here today. We're not talking about Porzingis, to your point. We're not talking about some injury-prone player where it's on your radar. We're talking about one of the most durable guys in the sport.
Right.
I mean, a guy who he just missed his first playoff game ever in his career against Orlando. They won that, by the way. Mm-hmm. But he just missed his first playoff game. It's not something that was on anybody's radar. They were losing the game either way last night. Like, let's be clear on that. They're down 7 with the ball when Tatum throws it away and or Brown turns it over, whoever you want to put that turnover on.
That was an ugly play.
And
ugly finish, ugly second half, as it seems to have been with this team.
Tatum falls in a heap. I think the Twitter doctors all assume it's an Achilles injury. Yeah. It was non-contact. He falls to the floor. I'm sure we'll get an update here at some point. Mazzulla said after the game, you'll hear it here coming up. He's due for an MRI today, so I'm sure we'll get the Shams tweet at any moment. But it didn't look good, as you all know. The series is in a terrible spot, down 3-1 against New York. And there's a lot of questions. Big picture about this team. There's a lot of questions in the series about this team. We'll get into all of it with your phone calls, 617-779-7937. You want to talk Celtics all day long, this is the spot to do it. Interact, Twitter and Instagram, at Jones and Keefe. You can watch and chat, twitch.tv/BostonWEEI, always a healthy chat going on Twitch. And on YouTube, you can watch there. Just subscribe to WEEI. So you think the series is over, season is over? You're giving them a chance in Game 5, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think I'll take them in Game 5, honestly. I think they win Game 5. I could see the Knicks being like, oh, wow, this series is over. Like, we're up 3-1, and, Tatum's done. But the Celtics are still very capable, and I think they could have a big shooting night. We saw it in Game 3. Peyton Pritchard was on fire. Derek White started this game on fire last night. Jaylen Brown could have a big – like, they still have enough – I don't think the Knicks are this great team, although it feels like I'm going to say that until they win the title. Like, they're going to be raising the banner. I'm like, I don't know about this Knicks team.
I mean, they look like they are just ticketed to the NBA Finals.
Seriously,
FYI. Yeah.
They really are. But, no, I think it's one of those, like, you go back to that Warriors Rockets series where you're like, oh, this one's over. And then the Rockets grab another game and just sort of extend the series. A classic case. What is Bill Simmons calls it, like the Ewing theory, right? Like your best player goes down, famously, Patrick Ewing, and the team actually is a little bit better. But to me, that only goes for so long. Like, I don't think your best player goes down and then you win the title. I think you might win a game, maybe you win a series, but I don't see them winning the series. If they were up 3-1, I would say, all right, you got to kind of hold on to your hats, but you kind of find a way to win one more game in advance. You're down 3-1. I think they have some pride tomorrow night and send the series back to New York, but ultimately I think that's where it ends.
Celtics are 4.5-point favorites.
Yeah, okay, so that's not surprising.
Game 5, so they are the favorite in Game 5.
Buying opportunity or sucker's bet?
It's a good question. I don't know where the money lies.
Do they have to play the second half? I think the first half line is what you want to take a look at because they are a good first half team.
They are indeed. So, look, I don't know if you feel like the series is over. You agree with Keefe. You think they show some pride in winning Game 5.
Sounds like you kind of think they're going to be okay.
Well, here's the thing. It's still the Knicks.
I know, but I said that now. They've won 7 playoff games. I didn't know how many they were going to win, and here they are.
If you're asking me, can they win a championship without Jayson Tatum? My answer is no. They're not beating those teams out west without Tatum. I'm not a crazy person, although I've been accused of it all day long.
I know.
On Twitter. Can you win 3 straight against New York? Like, they're favored in Game 5. So let's say they win that one. They're favored in Game 5. Can you go to New York, win a game, and then win a Game 7 on your home floor? I don't rule that out. And then it's the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Final, it looks like. I don't think they're done. And,
How about this?
How
about it?
I'm getting accused all day on Twitter, at JonesWEEI, like I'm the bad guy. They're 9-2 without Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of crap teams. But
okay, they've played.
It's not 2. No, they played 11 games without him.
They played one playoff game in his life without Jayson Tatum. They won it, and they won it easily, and Jaylen Brown was awesome in that game. So he's missed one playoff game ever. You can say it's against the Charlottes of the world and all these guys they sat him against during the regular season. That's all true. They won a playoff game without him. They've already done it.
Yeah.
And they're 9-2 this year without Jayson Tatum. I don't think they're done.
So I think they are. Like I said, they doesn't mean they're done tomorrow night. I think they can win that game, but you've got nothing out of Porzingis. These guys been an absolute zero, really.
You're going to need people to step up. You're going to need Jaylen. You're going to need Porzingis. I mean, you're going to need Holiday did nothing last night. You're going to need you're going to need guys.
The 2 old guys looked old. Porzingis looks injured or sick or whatever he is. Derek White couldn't miss at the beginning, and then that was it. And then Jaylen Brown's getting into foul trouble and everything else. So Tatum, this is the other part of it. Tatum was having a great game. Like, had they won this game, that would have been one that you put up and you point to, and you're like, hey, look at Jayson Tatum. Big playoff game.
Awesome last night. No doubt about it, yeah.
He was great. Now, this also isn't one of those he got hurt and then you lost it in overtime. Like, when he got hurt, they were down by 9. Like, they were going to lose the game even if he gets up, it felt like. Because the Knicks had an answer for everything. Once they got the lead, Jalen Brunson, who was a killer in the third quarter.
18
and
points.
then was hitting big shots in the fourth, as was Bridges. Bridges is so frustrating because you see him go on stretches where he's not hitting. He doesn't shoot threes, really. But then he just gets in the paint and, like, throws it, like, over his head. And you're like, what the hell is that?
All these leaners.
Leaners, like off balance.
Off balance and leaning shots, and they all go in.
But they had an answer for everything. Like, unlike the Celtics, who had a lead, then they were just like, let's bombs away and let's shoot ourselves out of it. The Knicks kind of put their foot down. But yeah, Tatum was the best player on the floor for most of the game. You got to give Brunson, tip your cap to Brunson in the third quarter, obviously. But you take that away. How do they sort of spread out those other shots? He had 28 shots last night. So if you play that out the next couple of games, that's not all going to go down to one guy. And who's going to be there to step up? Like, does Holiday and Horford and Porzingis have a big game in them? Maybe they have a big game. Do they have a big 3 games in them? No, I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing. If you win, you got to take care of business, obviously, at home in Game 5. But you're favored in that game. If you do
then
that,
you have Pedro, then you have Schilling.
Okay, the pressure just
and then Game 7.
You're underestimating the pressure that's going to shift to New York, though. I mean, New York has played with very little pressure on them in this series. Now the pressure is going to be on. People now expect them to win the series. They're up 3-1. There's no Tatum.
That's what Porzingis wanted, right? They're the favorite now.
They are now expected to win. So let's see how New York deals with that. I have no idea how they're going to deal with it. They've come through better in the clutch in these games against the Celtics. You saw it again last night. You're right to say, Keefe, they were losing either way. They were down 7 with the ball when Tatum crumpled into a heap. Anunoby ran out the other way to make it 9. They were losing that game either way. Even with a great game from Tatum and a healthy Jayson Tatum, they were going to be down 3-1. They're 9-2 without Tatum this year. They won the only playoff game in his life that he's missed, Game 2 against Orlando. I don't think it's done, but maybe that's a wild take. You can jump in. 617-779-7937. We do have a lot we're going to get to on the show today. Tier Tuesday, we're going to tear off all the Patriots' playoff opponents at 11:30. It's Tommy Tuesday. We'll talk to Tommy Curran at high noon, so we'll mix in some Patriots thoughts with all your Celtics phone calls all day long, plus Keefe Madness at 12:45. You're not going to want to miss it. And a lot of you are down. A lot of you are disappointed with the loss, what we think is impending. Horrible news on Jayson Tatum, season-ending news on Jayson Tatum.